Hello friends, this is Coldron. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We are here in... where are we? We're in Thavnair. We're in Radz-at-Han. And I'm about to start on one of the role quests, and I haven't... As I'm speaking right now, I haven't decided which one I'm going to do. So, let's see. What can we do? I think there's two main options I want to consider first. The ones I have at 90, so either Reaper or Sage. Reaper, Sage, Reaper, Sage. I've been doing a lot. Let's do Sage first. We'll see how the healer one goes. Alamegan Delegate. Far from free. The Alamegan Delegate to Radz-at-Han has grim news to convey. Alamegan Delegate. If you're ready to lend us your aid, I'll apprise you of the situation. We've received reports of a creature believed to be a blasphemy stalking the streets of Alamigo. Troops have been assigned to track and slay the beasts, but there are likely to be casualties. With most of our healers posted elsewhere, we had thought to petition you for aid. Sounds like you need better soldiers, not more healers. I forgot how much of a jerk you can be on your character on the Warrior of Light sometimes. I would be glad to be of help. Once again, we're in your debt. We shall inform Commander Aldin forthwith. Aldon Cut Delegate. My comrades in the Immortal Flames will be glad to have you watching over them. Really? Okay. Not really like I'm surprised. They're glad to have me watching over them. I forgot that Ul'dah would be... like, this is a joint thing with Ul'dah. You see, as there have been no sightings of any blasphemies in our lands, we've joined our Alamegan allies in the hunt for the fiend. Ah, that's why. Trouble is, the majority of our own healers are working day and night to treat the tempered Imperials captured at Pogglethon. For that reason, we too will be glad of your help. Your presence alone will be of great comfort to the troops, I'm sure. Alamegan Delegate. As time is of the essence, I ask that you make your way to the Alamegan quarter and report for duty. Commander Aldin is overseeing the hunt. He'll explain all upon your arrival. May Rhalgr grant you strength. Aldon Delegate. The Sultana wasted no time in extending the support of the Flames to Alamigo when the blasphemy first reared its head, and it's a good thing she did. What a good Sultana. Now, do what's right and turn the place into a republic, at last. Alamegan Delegate. When you get to Alamigo, head to the square outside the palace. One of the soldiers stationed there will explain the rest. Okay. Though I'll take a quick detour because I just remembered. I can upgrade this like kind of weird mixture of gear I have to like the job gear, I think. I have just bought the Didact set. Or not really bought because it's free. Thanks to my potato friend here. And is this... Not the garb itself, but are the weapons the Alphino Newliths? They have that same cross on them. I think they might be the Alphino Newliths, but I could be wrong. I have a bad memory for pretty much all things. It's sweet. It's not the Red Mage gear, but I don't think anything will be. The Red Mage is just... Some jobs speak to you, some aesthetics speak to you, and the Red Mage speaks to me. This is pretty sweet, though. We're here in the Alamegan Quarter. Blasphemy Hunter. Ah, Mistress Kushu. We were told you were on your way, but this is even quicker than expected. I'll tell Commander Aldin that you've arrived. One moment, please. Raubahn, glad you could join us. Raubahn, best boy. Right up there. I mean, there's a million best boys. Graha's best boy. There's a million best boys, but Raubahn is right up there. Raubahn, I appreciate that we've a far greater crisis to worry about, but we cannot afford to ignore the situation here either. I'd like nothing more than to hear about your recent adventures, but I'm afraid such pleasantries will have to wait. Whoa! Look at the design on that thing! That is awesome! Okay. As our man in Thavnair will have told you, a blasphemy is loose in Alamigo. I can't get over this. This is so cool. It almost looks Ronkin. And the face looks like a horror mask. Like someone ripped a cloth sack or like a scarecrow horror mask. I love this design. When it first appeared, the city guard were able to get most of the bystanders to safety, and for a mercy, those caught in the chaos only suffered minor injuries. But the fiend managed to escape and has not been seen since. We must find it soon and soon. We must find it and soon, for as long as it remains at large, every man, woman, and child is at risk. I can't get over that. That's just, I love that design so deeply. As was the case in Thavnair, the blasphemy's very existence seems to spur the creation of lesser beasts. The longer it is allowed to roam free, the more tragedy our people will suffer. Are you certain it's a blasphemy? Did anyone see the change take place? Yeah, did anyone see the change take place? It certainly looks blasphemy-ish. Because we have to play kind of mystery cop, right? Or just detective. Aye, there were several eyewitnesses who gave the same account. A man walking through the Alamegan quarter fell to his knees all of a sudden, and a moment later transformed into the monstrosity we now pursue. There was a time when... There was a cutscene a while back when we saw someone kind of stumbling through a few different areas. Like, different people stumbling through different areas pre-transformation, like with the black stuff coming out of them that made them look almost Dacian. Were those the blasphemies that we were seeing in early transformation? Because if they were, there was someone watching them, like almost orchestrating it. If not quite orchestrating it, but there was someone watching it that we saw. But that might have been something totally different, so apologies if I'm remembering something that was already answered. But beyond the fact that he was a young Highlander, we know next to nothing about him. Even the descriptions of his appearance are too vague to help identify the lad, and we've no clues to his name or background. For all we know, he might not have even been born in Alamigo, might have been the son of refugees come to visit. There are other possibilities we're investigating, though. I mean, he also could have been an Imperial, but probably not. That said, they wouldn't have stuck around this long. That said, I doubt his circumstances are unique. Blasphemies and beasts are born when men are overcome by despair. Whatever drove him to turn likely could have done the same to another. Therefore, if we were to prevent future tragedies, it is imperative that we identify and address the underlying cause. Until we do, we'll have no choice but to deal with the afflicted the only way we know how, granting them a quick death. For now, I would have you join the hunt and keep my men from falling prey to these creatures. Are you up for it? I have known you since I was level 1, or pretty close. I am up for it. You have my thanks. And as chance would have it, we've just received word that a number of beasts were spotted on the outskirts of Alagana. The troops stationed there have already been put down, but were wounded in the process. First and foremost, they need medical attention, and that's where you come in. I'll meet you there. Nod, nod. Speak to Raban outside Alagana. So that's in the peaks, right? Yeah. Wounded fighter and mortified fighter. Mortified fighter. Did you see the blasphemy? Mortified fighter. Knowing what they are, who they were. Could any of us end up like that? Yeah, you have to calm down, though. Remember, this is a matter of life and death to calm down. Wounded fighter. It's my own damn fault for being so careless. What must Commander Alden think of me? I'm sure he retains nothing but respect for you. Raban. I just want to say also how happy I am that Raban hasn't been magically healed or given a magical arm back, or even a prosthetic arm. I like that, or maybe a prosthetic arm would be fine, but I like that he's just kind of just kept going. Although the soldiers were able to lead the beasts away from the village and cull the lot of them, victory did not come easily. It's times like these that our lack of healers is felt most sorely. I dare say they've yet to receive any treatment at all. See to their wounds while I survey the area for any stragglers that may have escaped. Once I've completed my patrol, I'll head to the village to gather eyewitness reports. Look for me thereafter. Alright, so how are we healing you? It's been so long since I've played this, played this job, so hopefully I'll remember how. Oh, right, that. Or I guess I just talked to you? Tend to the soldiers. Oh, just general healing. Mortified fighter. I saw them change. Right before my eyes. Those weren't monsters I killed, but innocent men. Yeah, that would mess you up. But it had to be done. There were others we had to protect. And thanks to you, I can continue to do just that. Once I've made my way back, I'll give a full account. The families, they'll understand. Wounded fighter. Gods be good, I feel reborn. Hold on, you're Kukushu, aren't you? I can't believe it. You're the one who inspired me to join the Resistance in the first place, and now you've come to save me in my hour of need. I'll never forget this. Thank you. Thank you. You're quite welcome. Raubon. Did I see Arenvald there? Yeah, oh wait, what should I talk to Arenvald? My bad. For treating those wounds of those soldiers, you have my thanks. And theirs too, no doubt. It seems they were indeed successful in slaying all the beasts, if my search is any indication, but we must remain vigilant. I've also spoken with several people who witnessed the moment of the transformation, though the ordeal has understandably left them rather shaken. Arenvald, I hear you've been through a fair few ordeals yourself, Kukushu. Yeah, so have you. I like this. I love the sunset in this zone. As for me, I've been kept busy with this and that, and like getting the hang of this wheelchair. Obviously it has limitations, but it gets me where I need to go. I've been working with this new organization as well, which is what brought me here. This new organization? But no sooner had I arrived than those locals turned. What organization? Ragnfrid, I heard you were there when it happened. What can you tell us? The ones who underwent the change are the very people we were trying to help. Perhaps I should explain from the beginning. The meeting Leith held in the royal palace marked a turning point for all of Girabania. It spurred us to open a dialogue with peoples and communities we otherwise would have shunned. But there were still so many problems to be addressed, and countless souls struggling to build new lives for themselves. I decided to form a volunteer group, the Silver Griffins. You had to name yourselves the Griffins? Ah, that was a sloppy move on your part. Our main concern is the welfare of Alamegans who sided with the Empire, for whatever reason, and helping them find their place in society, in particular the surviving families of the Chronia Lupi. The Chronia... So this is like... Fordola... Like, is the Chronia... No, because I was trying to think, was the Chronia Lupi the Fordola mercenary group? But no, that was the Skulls. Was that the Chronia Lupi? I don't remember. Oh yeah, so that is the Skulls. But I thought you despised the Skulls. You've changed your tune. But yeah, but I thought you despised them. It sounds like you found some kind of understanding for them. Make no mistake, I have not forgiven them. I don't have that in me, and I doubt I ever will. But the memory of that day in the palace, of Fordola asking to be locked up again after saving us all, it stayed with me. Got me to thinking about why she and the other youths would commit such atrocities, why they'd swear to serve the Empire, and the answer was simple. Because they'd seen what we'd seen and suffered much the same. In a hell where all were condemned, they chose to betray one brother to save another. That's how the Garleans win, not by breaking you, but by making you break yourself. I get it, and I get the difference here, and I get why he's saying this, but that's still the Garleans breaking them. By making that choice the right one for a man at the end of his tether. Yeah, but that's what he's saying. Healing only begins with liberation, and some scars never will regardless. Those who have returned from foreign lands may have difficulty carving out a living here, but the ones who pledged allegiance to Garlemald... This is not the Alamigo we dreamed of, but after 25 years of misery, I'll not see it all thrown away because we can't come to terms with the past. That's why I formed the Silver Griffins, to see that no one is cast aside. That's a tremendously noble cause. A tremendously noble one. Like, it's because it's one that you are fighting against yourself on the whole time. Like, he hasn't forgiven them and he's still trying to help them because it's the kind of country he wants to build. Arenvald, it's a cause I support, and it's what brought me here today. I've been acting as a mediator. Ragnfrid, Aye, and in the short time he's been with us, he's proven himself a natural. But despite our early successes, the families of the Skulls continue to refuse our help. Do they not trust you? Rauban, I think I see where this is heading. They're the ones who turned, yes? Yeah. It might come as no surprise. It comes as no surprise. Their kin tormented and murdered fellow Alamegans. Anyone with a conscience would feel shame and guilt, and for some, it might be too much to bear. All these are going to be tragedies. By its nature, anything having to deal with the blasphemies is going to be a tragedy, and this fits right there. Arenvald, I think I might know why they're turning us away. It's a sensitive matter, though, so let's go somewhere we won't be overheard. What do you think it's going to be? Because I assumed it was just the shame of it. Like not wanting to face people or take pity, like that sort of thing. Anything having to do with that. But maybe not. Arenvald. It's about one of the men who turned. I saw his memories. Rauban. With the echo. I'll not pretend I understand it, but tell us what you learned. Again, I'd forgotten that Arenvald had the echo. I only caught a glimpse, but that was enough. It was during the occupation, a man raising his son. Only the two of them, but they were a family. To keep his boy clothed and fed, he chose to side with the Empire. He knew what others would say, but he did it anyway. And so he was branded a traitor. Every day his son listened to the jeering, the insults, but there was nothing he could do. When he came of age, he joined the Skulls in the hope it would make life easier for his father. He never dared to question his orders, no matter how depraved. I really appreciate the whole story of just the depth they give to the people who made this choice. That it really was like they're doing anything they could to survive. And the worst part for them, not the worst part, there's plenty of worse parts, but one of the parts that just rubs it in your face about the whole thing was how the guards couldn't care less. Like the Imperial guards, they just utterly couldn't care less. They, if someone... This was what, I don't remember the exact line, but Fordola said something about this, how, even then it's not enough. Even, joining the Empire and serving them, they still don't look upon you as equals. Arenvald, he died in the Revolution, but not before killing his own countrymen. His father wept not for the betrayer and the murderer, but for the man he could have been. He blamed it all on himself right up until the change took him. This was a father. Ugh. Rauban, I can only pray he and his boy have finally found the peace they were denied in life. Alas, theirs is an all too familiar tale. They cannot forgive themselves, nor can they see how anyone else could. Ragnfrid, the sins of their kin weigh heavy on them. They think themselves undeserving of our compassion. Arenvald, if they carry on like that, they'll turn into beasts. We've got to help them before it's too late. That's right, even aside from the mercy, there is a practical element here. But I don't think that's at all what's spurring... I think it's some of what's spurring them, but I think that even aside from that, it sounds like they started the Silver Griffins before that. Growing up half Garlean and Alamigo, I know how it feels to be shunned and hated, to hate myself. But so long as we give ourselves and others a chance, we can change for the better. And while I might not be as clever or eloquent as someone like Alphino, I know I can make a difference. I might not be quite the swordsman I used to be, but I'm still a fighter at heart. And I owe it to Abba and Ali to make the most of this life so long as I've got it. We Silver Griffins will give our all to see that no more beasts or blasphemies ravage Girabanya again, So, Commander Aldine, do we have your approval to continue our work? Maybe, I wonder if... Huh. I was going to say, I wonder if Raubon is even going to be accompanying us for the most part here. He might not. It might just be like with Arenvald and like random tanks. Raubon, of course, there's no enemy more formidable than despair, and I'd be a fool to refuse your help. That even a single one of our people has succumbed to this transformation is proof of our failure to protect them. This is why Raubon's a good leader. Therefore, I pledge the Silver Griffins my unconditional support. Together we will prevail. No, I think he will accompany us, actually. Now that we have Kukushu on hand to aid the troops, I believe we are ready to face any beasts we encounter. Though I fear it's only a matter of time before others appear, I ask that you lend the Silver Griffins your assistance in the meantime. Absolutely. Of course. Very good. For now, let's return to the city. I'm a little bit sad we never got to see a full Ala Mhigo as like a city the way that we have for Radzat Han and all, that we just got the Sharlayan Quarter. It's okay, but like, it's not the same. Raubon. Those who harbor guilt do so not because they are weak of heart, but because they have failed. They have failed to meet the demands they make of themselves. I extremely agree with this. I know personally, whenever the things I feel bad about, the things I feel worst about, aren't what other people blame me for. Or when I should say this, when someone blames me for something or gets angry at me for something, then it doesn't bother me unless I agree with them, at least to some extent. If there's a part of me that believes what they're saying, that's when it'll upset me, really. That's when it'll hurt me. If someone's just like, you have dark red hair, what a loser, it's not going to bother me. But if someone's like, you're lazy, you really messed that up because you don't work hard enough, that'll bother me because that's something I kind of agree with about, just a lot of circumstances. Anyway, okay, yeah. It was the same for me when I believed that my failures had led to the Sultana's assassination. The despair and self-loathing were indescribable, I remember that. I was fortunate that you and the other scions came to my rescue, that I had friends who convinced me I was more than the sum of my worst mistakes. Now we must do the same for the people of Ala Mhigo. We must help them to heal and find the strength to, if not forgive, then come to terms with who we were, so that we can look to who we can be. Who we should aspire to be. Excuse me, I had the hiccups. This is precisely why the work of the Silver Griffins is so vital. Though our problems are not new, the emergence of this deadly phenomenon means we cannot afford to delay addressing them any longer, and we will be better for it ultimately. Once we've decided a course of action, you'll be the first to know. Until then, may Rhalgr watch over and keep you. I am happy we get this. Very happy we get this, because the storyline for Ala Mhigo, Stormblood, I know this is talk about blasphemies. I enjoyed Stormblood more than Heavensward. There I said it. I probably have said it before, but like, I don't know. I loved Heavens. I loved Stormblood. It had some rough parts to it, some slow parts to it. But the stuff in it spoke to me, especially the post-patch stuff and everything with Yotsuyu, but even the Ala Mhigo stuff, especially Fordola. Speaking of Fordola, are we getting more Fordola here? It looks like we are. The Butcher's Blade. The struggle to prevent the emergence of beasts grows increasingly desperate. Blasphemy Hunter, we were hoping you'd stop by. I'll show you to Commander Aldine at once. Raubon, you're a welcome sight as always, Lieutenant. Arenvald, aye, and a lot's happened since we last spoke. We Silver Griffins have been keeping busy. Right, so I'm doing this all in a chain, but yeah, some time has passed now. As have I and my men, but I'm afraid we've little to show for our efforts. Although we've been searching high and low for the blasphemy, we've seen neither hide nor hair of it. Unfortunately, everyone else had better luck. Yeah, so, it's struck again, basically. We've received reports of lesser beasts throughout Girabanya, and putting them down is as important as hunting the blasphemy that got away. To complicate matters, rumors have been circulating that these beasts were the Skull's kin. While this was true of the recent incident in Alagana, we cannot have people jumping to conclusions, given what they might feel tempted to do. Arenvald. It has been suggested that we take these individuals into custody for their own protection as much as the safety of others, but that would only isolate them even further and give credence to the rumors. Yeah, you're kind of in a rough spot to deal with this. Rauban, the recent unrest has hindered the efforts of the Silver Griffins to no end. Therefore, I ask that you aid them in their endeavors and see if there is aught that can be done. Arenvald. Also, you'll be joined by another volunteer. Try not to be too surprised. Fordola. Thought I felt my ears burn. I don't know how to do a Fordola accent. I don't know how to do her voice. Thought I felt my ears burning. I friggin' love this character so deeply. Short of Yatsuyu, but God, she's great. I said they don't need a keeper, but did they bloody listen? Did they bollocks? Arenvald, come on, don't be like that. This is what you agreed to. Besides, you never know when you might have need of a healer, and there's none better than Kukushu. But Kukushu, I thought she was a red mage last time we fought. Rauban, he's right. You've earned a measure of trust, and this shouldn't be taken to mean otherwise. Fordola, thick as thieves, are we now? Then there's no need for the sodding collar, aye? We all know it's not coming off anytime soon, but if this is how it has to be, fine. As long as she keeps out of my way. I will prove myself to you. We will be besties. Rauban, I want the two of you to visit the Silver Griffin headquarters in Alagana. Several relatives of the Crania Lupi have agreed to meet them. Right, the wolves' heads or wolf skulls. Have agreed to meet with them, and we could do that with a measure of precaution. Fordola, if anyone so much as mentions the skulls, I'll deal with it. Understood? Let's get this over with. Arenvald. I never even thought of this. She's as much at risk of turning as anyone, maybe even more so. You don't need the echo to see the weight she's carrying. Please let her not turn. That would be super upsetting. I don't think she's going to, but even temporarily, I don't want her to turn. She's still not got a handle on her own echo. Sometimes the visions come without warning and with such force that it's all she can do to stay standing. There's no telling what might happen if she comes face to face with the family of her former comrades, so look out for her. Please. I will. I would lay down my life for Fordola. Not in real life, but I think Kukushu would lay down her life for Fordola. Especially knowing that Kukushu can just get rezzed. Arenvald, I wish there was more that I could do for her myself. I know you do. But we've all got our own duties, and I'll see them through to the end. Rauban, so must we all. Follow Fordola's lead. We're counting on you both. But be ready to step in, even if she curses you for it. Ragnfried, oh. Boy, is this an awkward conversation we're about to have. Ragnfried. I'll admit, this is not quite what I had in mind. Fordola. ... Ragnfried. I had a feeling Rauban would send you, Kukushu, but as for her... Fordola. If you've got any complaints, take it up with the commander. Ragnfried. No, it's fine. Truth be told, ever since that day at the Royal Palace, I've been thinking. Fordola, stop. You don't want to say it, and I don't want to hear it. Ragnfried. To the matter at hand, then. Was he going to say that he forgives her, and she... No, because he said that he doesn't forgive her, but he was going to say thank you. I think it was going to be like, I don't forgive you, but thank you anyway, and she was going to be like, we don't want to hear that. Maybe that's it. Like, let's just move past that. Because he wasn't going to forgive her. To the matter at hand, then. We Silver Griffins have been working to support the relatives of the Crania Lupi, but one family has gone missing.
A mother and her parents who lived together under the same roof. One of ours paid them a visit, but they were nowhere to be seen. And when they went inside to check, they found the house had been torn to shreds. Thick gouges in the floor and the walls, made by a beast's claws by the look of them. Stay a while and listen.
Every old man voice ends up being Kane for me.
You think they've...
Fordola, you think they've turned?
Ragnfrid. Aye, that's the most likely explanation. Please do what you must before anyone else is hurt.
Fordola, there's no time to waste. I'll head west, you head east. Okay. A fell beast. How do I sage again? Cardia to my chocobo. Oh, you look very cool too. You have that same kind of statue sort of feel to you. Oh right, wrong ability. Speaking of Deckard Cain, this looks like straight out of like Diablo, that beast. Drop letter. In the dirt you spy an envelope containing a crumpled, tear-stained letter. Dear Mother, I hope this letter finds you well. Time is short, so I must keep this brief. Although I've never done anything to make you proud, I promise you things will be different when the war is over. Until then, take care and know that I love you with all my heart. Placing the letter back into its envelope, you turn your attention to finding the others. I hope that wasn't the wrong move. I know that none of these are going to get me to fail a quest, but I do hope that, like, they won't be like, you read the letter? It was clearly personal and for me, you monster. Time-worn wedding ring. You discover what appears to be a wedding ring with a name and date engraved on the inside. With seemingly no more clues to be found, you decide to report to Ragnfrid. Fordola. What's done is done. Ragnfrid.
Were you able to find anything?
Yeah, crumpled letter. Though its contents neither verify nor disprove your suspicions, the letter was almost certainly penned by a now-deceased member of the Cranialupi. And time-worn wedding ring. The outer edge is covered in myriad scuffs and scratches, while the inner is marked with only a name and date, carefully engraved.
Then it is as we feared.
Fordola. I found and killed a third. I was carrying this. Ragnfrid.
A matching ring. I'll deliver these effects to their next of kin and arrange for a funeral, or as close to one as possible under the circumstances.
Yeah, this is hitting Fordola.
There's no changing the past. We'll always carry it, and the scars, but no matter who we were or what we did, we're Alamegans, then and now. The Empire was our enemy then, now it's despair. Good words and deeds will serve us best in this fight. Weapons even an old man like me can yet wield.
I like Ragnfrid. There's very few characters I dislike in this game. I mean, in general, there's plenty of characters I dislike, but...
Thanks to the two of you, the missing villagers may finally be laid to rest. I and the other Silver Griffins will redouble our efforts to prevent any further tragedies.
I finished checking the wares, sir. Everything's in order. Is going to be someone who's shocked to see Fordola? No. I guess everyone kind of knows what Fordola's deal is, though. Like, they're not going to be like, you're out of prison?
Good work. Take a rest, lad. You've more than earned it. Keep this to yourselves, but Everett's younger brother was a member of the Cranialupi. He's exactly the sort of person we're trying to help. Like many of the others, he was reluctant to talk to us at first, But after we gained his trust, we were able to help him find work. He's taken to it well.
Curious what he has to... oh, shit. Does he blame Fordola, or... He does. This is... Okay. This is what I was afraid of and then dismissed. It's her. It's the butcher. Everett. Oh, no, don't turn. Traitors, all of us. Kid slayers deserving of hate and death. Hate and death. You're not. You're kinslayers, maybe, but again, the circumstances matter. And she's going to feel this too. Oh, frick. Fordola, get back, get back! I hope Ragnfrid doesn't blame Fordola for this. I really do. She's having tough enough time with this as is. Nice job, Fordola. Nice job. But again, that's not a laughter of mocking. That's a joyous laugh. That makes me happy. No, don't be mean to Fordola. Anxious mother, stay away from her. I get it. I totally get it. 100% get it, but I also... Ragnfrid, Fordola saved your girl's life. For all I know, Fordola could have killed her father or something, but... Anxious mother, I know, but she's used to it, but she doesn't have to be used to it. Don't let her get used to it. Ragnfrid, it happened in an instant. That poor lad. Yeah, Ragnfrid's not the person I have to worry about. But it had to be done, and without hesitation. Would have been much worse otherwise. That's true. Could you go after Fordola and see to her wounds? I'll do what I can here. Absolutely. Fordola, I'm fine. Leave me be. I said I don't need your help. It's not only your injuries I'm worried about. Let me heal her. Let me do my job. I don't want to get her. I don't want to be overt about like an emotional thing, because I don't think she'll be receptive to that. Let's go with I'm a healer. Let me do my job. Gods, you're like a dog with a bone. Go on then. Make it quick. Let's cast the spell Healing. There we go. Hello, pigeon. Curl can't change its spots. There's no washing the blood off my hands. Nor would I, even if I could. Taking up Garlean steel was the first choice, but not the last. Like the first kill, the hardest. Every choice after that came easier and easier, till I stopped counting, stopped caring. You tell yourself it's right. You tell yourself it's for the greater good. You give the order, feel the ground tremble as the cannon fires, and when the dust settles, and your own men are buried beneath the rubble, and you tell yourself... No. No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. It's not going to happen. Me too. You mustn't give in. I won't let it take you. I don't think she'll want me helping her in that directly, so yeah, you mustn't give in. Maybe she would want that, though. Ha. The man in the village. I saw his past. I'm the one who killed his brother. That's what I was afraid of. I mean, I guess not. I didn't see it. Not with him. But, no, I guess it was something close to that. I'll be alright. Just need a moment. Can you wait with me? Fordola, I will wait with you forever. Everything the skulls fought for, sacrifices we made, the things we did, in the end it was all for nothing. Sometimes I look back on the road I walked, and the bitterness I can still taste, and wonder if I'd grown up in another time, in another place, would I have done the same to a different people? Was it always in me to be me? I think it was always in you to do what you needed to survive, and in another world that could have been... That didn't have to have this in it. It wasn't about the betrayal. I think it was in doing what you had to survive. All I know is everyone would have been better off if I'd never been born. But I was. And I dragged others into the hell of my own making. I remember these two brothers in particular, childhood friends of mine. The older one enlisted with me, but the younger... He would never have made it as a soldier. He was too kind, too good. Yeah, if I think of you as Undyne. Yeah, if I think of you as Undyne, it sounds like this other person was Papyrus. Arenvald died at Specula Imperatoris, but his brother's still out there somewhere. Not that I've got the courage to face him after what I did. I hope he's found the life he deserves. I met a former skull named Rudolph. I know a young man who survived the fall of Specula Imperatoris. Yeah, I met a former skull named Rudolph. That's one of the first times I've ever seen Fordola's face without, like, a scowl. That was like a pleasant surprise look. Rudolph, he's alive, but how? I'm glad he made it out, but too many others didn't. Too many others still need our help. I helped make this blasphemy, and by Ralgr I'll kill the bastard if it's the last thing I do. Anyway, that's enough out of me. I'll be heading back to the city to make my report. I suggest you do likewise. Blasphemy Hunter. I heard about what happened. If nothing else, at least you've seen with your own eyes what we're up against. I've already seen it before, but I see it now in the Alamegan flavor. Rauban, welcome back. Fordola's already given her account, and I'd like to hear yours too. Ah, so you see she almost turned her into a beast herself. We'll have to take that into consideration before sending her into the field again. As far as the events in Alagana are concerned, the two of you did well. Despite the appearance of several beasts, you were able to prevent any further casualties. However, this serves to confirm that those with the connections to the Crania Lupi should be considered at risk of turning. Over the years, many of them have drifted away from the larger settlements and have taken to living in secret. Others made their way to Ul'dah as refugees, including some individuals of interest. As such, we'll be working closely with the Immortal Flames to locate and offer support to those refugees in particular. In fact, I plan to make the journey there for an audience with the Sultana. Once my preparations are complete, perhaps you might accompany me. I would love to see you meet the Sultana again. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. And that's going to be it for me for today. Next time we will continue with the next couple of quests in this line, probably next 2 or 3. So thanks for watching. See you all later. Bye-bye.